I'm going to be going over 3 key points in this video. If you can truly embody and live by these key points, then you're going to become an unshakable, uncontrollable force that is not able to be manipulated by society and others. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to free yourself or deprogram yourself from social conditioning. Now, this video isn't to demonize social conditioning because there are great aspects of social conditioning, but it becomes a problem when social conditioning limits you or puts you in a cage or a box and keeps you from truly experiencing your potential, doing what you really want to do with your life. And it especially becomes bad when you are forced, or you think you're forced, to look or act a certain way that's different from how you actually are. You are forced to look a different way that's different from how you were naturally born. So let's get right into how to decondition and free yourself of this social conditioning so that you can live a life of limitless potential. The first point, and pretty much our foundation, our basis for everything else, is I want you to realize that all social conditioning is, at its core, is an energy structure. And this energy structure requires your energy to stay alive. So I'm going to repeat that one more time because this is a very profound insight, is that social conditioning is simply an energy structure that requires your energy to stay alive, for it to keep running. So there are 2 ways that you can feed your energy to this energy structure. The first is the most obvious way, is by simply giving it your attention and following its rules and living and adhering by it, which is what most people do. The second way that you can feed your energy is by actively reacting and opposing to this social conditioning, to this energy structure, by giving it your energy in a negative way, by maybe wasting your energy trying to fight it, trying to be something different, trying to take it down. In this way, you're also giving it energy. So this is what most people don't realize, is there's 2 ways of giving it energy, one by following it and one by actively reacting and actively trying to take it down. How much of your energy is spent giving energy to this energy structure? How much of your time is spent trying to be perceived a certain way on social media, to be deemed socially acceptable, to look a certain way? Or how much resistance is there when you don't look a certain way that's not maybe socially accepted? Or when you're actively trying to fight an existing structure, how much of your life and energy is spent doing that? So now you might be asking, if by following the energy structure, I'm feeding it energy, and by actively opposing the energy structure, I'm also feeding it energy, how do I not feed it energy? How do I retain my energy? And that's a great question, and that's going to get us into point number 2, which is, to retain your energy, you must accept the existence of social conditioning. You allow it to exist. You allow it to exist because it has a right to exist, just like everything else. Instead of trying to actively fight it and try to deny its existence, you have to accept and allow it to be there. But while you allow it to exist because it has a right to exist, you also free yourself and ignore it at the same time. We free ourselves of this resistance by not reacting to it, not giving into it, not engaging with it, and ignoring it while allowing it to still exist. So imagine you are cooking an amazing meal, one of your favorite meals, and you're in a fully stocked kitchen. This kitchen has all the ingredients you can ever want, all the ingredients in the world. You have a kitchen with everything, but your task is just to cook your favorite meal. Now, naturally, you are going to favor some ingredients and not favor other ingredients. You're going to like some ingredients more than you like other ingredients. You might even dislike some ingredients. You might even be allergic to some ingredients. Now, when you go about cooking your meal, you're not going to go first and find all the ingredients that you don't like in the kitchen and spend all this time and energy seeking them out and throwing them away, right? That would be ridiculous. You won't do that. What you do is simply find the ingredients that you want and cook your meal. But what most people do in life is they seek out all the ingredients they hate, all the ingredients that should not exist, and they spend all their time trying to fight it, trying to throw it away, searching for it in other people. And so in this analogy, you allow all the ingredients to exist and you go about cooking your meal, right? You allow all the ingredients, even if you don't like them, to stay in the kitchen, to exist. But you only work with ingredients you like and you go about creating your meal. Okay, so far we've covered that social conditioning is an energy structure that requires your energy to feed it, to stay alive, and to free yourself of this social conditioning, you must ignore it while still allowing for it to exist. Now, there's a third missing ingredient, a missing piece to it. You have to cultivate your sense of worth, your sense of being enough, independently of everything external from you. See, the only way that social conditioning works is that it feeds off of people's limiting beliefs that they are not enough. It feeds off your belief that you have to look a certain way to be enough, you have to live your life a certain way, you have to work hard, and you have to earn your way to worthiness. You have to make this much money to be deemed considered socially acceptable or good or valuable. It operates off of the belief that you are not good enough already and you have to do certain things in life to be good enough. And that's where you come in. This is where the work comes in. You are good enough. You are already good enough just the way you are. You are good enough because you exist here. Now, I can just sit here and keep telling you that you are good enough, but what you need to do yourself is to tap into this part of you, this deep part of you that's been there since the very beginning. This part of you that's been the observer in the background, quietly observing everything in life. The part of you that's been there before the judgments you've placed on yourself and others, before the programming, before the limiting beliefs that you've adopted. There's this part of you that's always been there. And your work is to tap into this part of you. You can call this part of you limitless potential. You can call this part of you love. You can call it excitement, passion. You can call it source. And we all have this because this is our natural state. So what you need to do is cultivate this part internally without relying on anything in the outside world to tell you that you have to do a certain thing to gain its approval, to be enough. You have to cultivate this for yourself. You have to make this your work. This part of you doesn't require you to do anything, to look a certain way, to make a certain amount of money. It doesn't require any conditions, any external conditions, because this part of you already knows that it is enough. So you need to tap into this part of you and then go about living your life. Tap into this part of you and operate your normal everyday life from here, from inside of here, instead of going about life trying to prove yourself to the world, trying to prove yourself to your parents, trying to prove yourself to yourself. That's the difference. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone because you already know who you are inside, and who you are inside is enough. Who you are inside is worthy. Once you are able to truly tap into this part of you, cultivate it, and live by it, This is where you live in the realm of limitless potential. This is where everything and anything is possible for you in your life. This is where life becomes magical. Now, you don't have to run away and become a monk and live your life secluded unless you want to. You don't have to do that. You can go about your daily life, your everyday life, your job, everything, but operating from this place that you are enough without trying to prove yourself to anybody. Okay, so let's summarize the video for you. There are 3 key points. The first is to realize that all social conditioning is an energy structure that feeds off your energy to stay alive for its own existence. The way you free yourself of this energy structure is by not reacting to it, not engaging with it or the parts that you don't like, and ignoring it while still allowing it the right to exist. And then the third piece is operating and cultivating this deeper inner part of you where you are enough and living your life from there instead of trying to prove yourself to the world and others. All right, guys, that's it. My name is Justin. I hope this video was of tremendous value to you. If it was, please hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe. That way more people can see this video. I think that's it. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.